when it's time for your weight class and you step out there and those lights are bright, you know, it's the only lights on in the arena. I just stay so focused in my process, every little detail, and being very deliberate. Time sort of begins to transform itself. Hi, my name's Andrew Roden. I'm a PhD student in psychology, but I'm also Alabama's first sumo wrestler. I went to my first sumo tournament in either August or September of 2020. And then in 2021, I competed in the U.S. Sumo Nationals. Won that, which qualified me for the U.S. World Team in 2021. Went to the North American Championships in Las Vegas, won them, and made Team USA again for 2022 and secured my spot at the World Games. I mean, from the time we showed up and started staging, you just have people chanting, USA, USA. And when the announcer says United States of America and the place just erupts, you can feel the vibrations. It was pretty incredible. In early 2020, I think it was about February 2020, I rode down to Birmingham one day with a friend, and we see a sign at the city limits that says home of the World Games. I get on Google and start pulling it up. When I get down to combat sports, I see sumo. As I start watching some matches, I'm like, I got to be pretty good at this if I started training and got back in shape. So in May of 2020, after gyms and stuff started back opening, I started training, and I told everybody from day one, I said, I want to qualify for the World Games in 2022. I want to win the World Games. Outside of competing, the World Games was incredible, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was really surreal. First time you throw on that Team USA gear, reality sets in that, wow, I'm representing our country at the highest level of sport. The support from Alabama during the World Games was incredible. People in Alabama just love sports. And, when they all found out that one of their own was competing at such a prestigious event, they were all in. It meant a lot to get that support from the state. You watch the Super Bowl, you watch the Iron Bowl, you watch the college football championships. A wide receiver is going to miss a foot placement, a running back's going to miss a foot placement, something. But you get the chance to come back and still exert influence over the game. Sumo, you don't get that opportunity. That was actually the first time I'd ever stepped on a clay doyo. So that was my first experience with it ever, because we don't have one here in America. Slipping on the sand in the doyo, that was tough. Man, I went through all that training for 2 years and had my goal, and you get out there and boom, your foot slips. But that's part of it, and it happens, and that's the duality of sumo. I hate losing. It pushed me to be the best because I hate to lose more than I like to win. But, that's part of being a great athlete, is you have to overcome adversity. When you're competing at the highest of levels, whether it's the top tiers of college or at the international level, the biggest differences are mental differences in people. So that's something I proactively work to incorporate on a daily basis. Getting my PhD in psychology has absolutely helped a lot with my training and my entire competitive process. I'd always had this interest in it. Didn't really know what to expect, but just about immediately fell in love with it and knew that this was the path I needed to be on. Me and having the platform that I have, it's an opportunity for me to share good knowledge with people. And I seem to have an ability to break it down for people, to break it down to everyday terms. So I like to put that out there. I like to put out that good information that people can maybe reflect on their self. I don't know that I can pinpoint one life lesson that sumo has taught me, because the entire experience has been a life lesson. Using it as an opportunity to become a better person overall, to take better care of my body, my fitness, my health. My end goal with sumo is to be a world champion. I'm not done with this. There's more to accomplish. So the goal is to compete through 2025. I took an injury this year, but we'll get ready for 2024 and give the World Championship another shot in 2024 and 2025.